This is Things You Might Not Have Heard, and I am Jay Cleveland Payne, and I am going to preside for you in mere moments the weekend's latest, the whole weekend's latest, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday's latest in politics, current events, information, and pop culture. This is your go-to seminal source for both mainstream and unconventional news stories. You may have missed them along the way. It was a kind of long weekend. A little added context along the way as well. What we have for you are stories, 10 of them in the queue today, that have been vetted by you as conversational. We'll explain that whole process after we go through the headlines. Plus, there's a lot of headlines to get through, so we vetted them, you vetted them, we put in this newscast. We'll go through the process and give you some fun stuff along the way to have your day get started off on a bright and just shiny, great way for the bright day for the week, for this Monday, for this week to get started. Our website is thisisconversationproject.com. More information about us there, so check it out to get the full deal on who we are. And email us anytime you feel like it at theconversationinbox@gmail.com. This is Monday, January the 8th, 2024. Thank you for being with us for the show today, whether you're watching us live or checking out the replays, audio or video. Let's get into the headlines for today, for this day, starting with this one right here. It reads for the first story, and they're no particular order, although this is the top story for the weekend. This one came in early in the weekend and was tops all the way. Speed racer actor Christian Oliver dead at 51 after tragic accident. Christian Oliver, a German-born actor known for roles in Saved by the Bell, The New Class, Speed Racer, and Hunters, tragically passed away in a plane crash along with his two daughters. The accident occurred on January 4th in the Caribbean, causing deep sadness among the fans and his followers. Oliver's final social media post before the accident was left with his left folks heartbroken, marking the poignant end to his life and career at the age of 51. Next story, the story at number 2 for this week, for this Monday, for the weekend, has this headline. People taking Wegovy and Ozempic have lower risk of suicidal thoughts versus older drugs, study finds. New federal study finds that the use of diabetic and obesity drugs, Ozempic and Wegovy, is linked to lower risk of suicidal thoughts, excuse me, contrary to some anecdotal reports. This research contrasts the previous concerns about negative mental effects associated with these medications. Excuse me. The study provides reassurance regarding the mental health safety of these popular drugs. Now, quick aside on this, because I actually happen to take Ozempic, and I do have issues with mental health that I work with every day. One of the side effects of Ozempic and Wegovy and those drugs, because they do affect your brain. They essentially trigger things to make things happen, along with the effects they do for your body. The reason why Ozempic so big is it tells your brain to not eat much stuff and not do a lot of stuff and sort of not get into stuff. People thought that because of that, it led you to more suicidal thoughts. What they're finding is in older drugs that dealt with weight actually had worse effects. So people who are taking the newer drugs have less issues with mental health if they have issues with mental health to deal with. So this is a good thing going forward. Let's move on to the story at number 3 this week, or this morning, I should say. Mixing up the yesterday thing, the weekend thing with today thing. Starbucks pink Stanley cup causes mayhem at Target, won't be restocked. I went a little bonkers on this one. I saw the story pop up on Friday because I didn't know what was going on. It was Stanley cups and pink cups and Starbucks cups. Target was a stalker of a special Starbucks and Stanley promotion for Valentine's Day, a pink winter Stanley quencher, which is a very popular Stanley cup, if you will, a cup made by the Stanley Company. And it just went nuts. It was like the Beanie Baby of 2024 all over again. And Starbucks was great about it. You can also take a Starbucks and get it refilled, which is kind of the big deal about that, why people were going to get it as a refillable Starbucks cup. But because of the mayhem, because of the craziness, long nines, and of course campouts and fistfights, yes, fistfights, Target's not going to restock it after they were done the first time. So I'm not sure where extra cups will come from. Probably be done online from this point forward. That fan in that computer is extremely loud. Let's go to the next story at number 4 today. Alaska Airlines grounds 737-9 aircraft after mid-air window blown out on flight from Portland, Oregon. You may have seen this story. If you've not, we're giving it to you right now. An Alaska Airlines flight made emergency landing in Portland, Oregon after a mid-air accident where a window, a large piece of the plane, just popped out. A pop out, literally. It's not supposed to pop out, but it popped out while it was flying. They grounded it in Portland, and basically that's Airlines and many other airlines that went and grounded all their 737-9s because of the issue. Right now, they must pass a very extensive check for their safety, see what's going on. They actually found the piece that fell off the plane in the teacher's yard, which is, just sort of bonkers. It's somebody's backyard, and no one was hurt. Just a large piece of airplane just sitting in the backyard, so they can study it directly to what happened to this actual incident, and that's a good thing. Hopefully, less planes popping in the air and falling from the sky, also a good thing as well. Moving on to the story at number 5 this morning, the headline reads, "Rumors of shadow aliens at Miami Mall go viral after large fight among teens creates chaos." So this was a weird one that happened late last week, and we got a chance to post it finally Friday morning, and it took off and stuck around all weekend. A fight happened at a mall in Miami, Miami's Bayside Marketplace. Bizarre rumors went back and forth on social media that were 10-foot aliens at the place because it was going on. Odd effects from the lighting of the videos that people took that had people thinking that maybe there were aliens, maybe they were 10 feet tall. What the hell is going on at this place? It was a weird one. It was a social media phenomenon. If it weren't for so much, bad stuff that happened over the weekend, this is something that we could really, really get into and really celebrate at just the lighthearted stuff going on. Not that teens fighting at a mall is a great thing, but no lives were lost other than, the lives of people who kind of overdid it because aliens because of this incident. Story at number 6 with the headline for today reads, Pat McAfee delivering half the audience of Stephen A. Smith's, barely beating Fox Sports 1's Colin Cowherd in TV ratings. This story is maybe a bit of a non-starter because, number one, we pulled it from a blog where the reports are going out there. But number 2, the larger story that this turned into was Pat McAfee essentially had numbers leaked about his show, about what he's actually doing, what he's pulling for the Pat McAfee show. And what we're finding out is, or we find out from the numbers that are being leaked, is they're not doing so well, not keeping up with Stephen A. Smith's audience going forward, and of course not really doing much to overtake Colin Cowherd, his actual competition. What we found out later on in the week, or later on in the day I should say, is Pat McAfee did a blast on some internal things going on at ESPN, essentially airing dirty laundry, telling the folks at ESPN, or telling the folks on the air in his third hour, which is not aired on ESPN, that he's being targeted by someone in the family because they don't like Pat McAfee. So they're putting out fake numbers. His numbers are actually great. His numbers are actually fine. ESPN has no problem with his numbers, except for the fact that Pat McAfee. So we'll see how this one plays out. That turned into the larger story, the fact that McAfee was dealing with the fact that he was being blasted internally, which many people who've dealt with the same person and similar issues at ESPN were able to chime in on immediately as well. At number 7 this morning, this headline reads, X blocks Japan's alert system for post during earthquake. After the earthquake happened last week in Japan, the emergency system that they had in Japan did all it could to alert people what's going on. And in a place where a lot of things were down, their phone lines were down, internet was down, they just blasted at anything they could so that people could see things and hopefully get the message out. Because of the very high volume of messages coming out from the emergency alert system in Japan, X actually shut down the account, actually stopped firing off their tweets or X's because they were sending too many things, even though it was a verified emergency account sending out emergency information. We don't have any explanation for this yet, but hopefully someone will explain this very soon. At number 8 this morning, Shia LaBeouf converts to Catholicism after being confirmed at New Year's Eve Mass. Shia LaBeouf is changing, I guess, converting to Catholicism during New Year's Eve Mass. It just sort of happened. It would seem like it was just a thing all of a sudden. But the Mass was presided by a Capuchin Friskin friars, is sort of really traditional, old school stuff, and it turned into a shift in the spiritual path as going forward. Shia LaBeouf has been known for, let's say, troubling behavior in the past. We'll see how much this is going to go forward towards improving any of those things. Trump says civil war could have been negotiated. We're going to let kind of Trump's words go on this one. Speaking of a campaign event in Iowa, he controversially suggested the civil war could have been negotiated, ahead instead of fought. They could have talked this thing out. They could have went back and forth. They could have worked it out and made it happen. Of course, we go over the primary reason for civil war, states' rights, which is states' rights to own slaves, which was not a great thing. And you go through the northern states had slaves, and slaves were all over the place, and other people had slaves, and all the arguments you have to. But essentially, negotiating over slavery is what Donald Trump said could happen. We wouldn't end slavery if we're negotiating over who can keep slaves, because they could negotiate that in the first place. It's kind of how the Civil War came about. Some people, history, are doomed to repeat it. Some people are doomed to not understand it at all. And he could be our president again. And number 10 this morning, nude man nabbed by police after cannonball plunge into giant aquarium at Bass Pro Shop in Alabama. Those are my boys. In Leeds, Alabama, a man was arrested as he jumped into a large aquarium at the Bass Pro Shop in Leeds, naked. That's it. Jumped in the pool, naked, swim with the fish. Police got him. All is right in the world. Another one of those really funny, silly things we could kind of live up to if there weren't so many just bad, nasty, serious things that actually happened in the past week and over the weekend. But we have that one to wrap up, to laugh about. In our apologies, errors and omissions section today, the story we didn't have time for because of other things out there is one that probably is a bit more important, and the one's actually going to grow for a bit, so we're going to give this some time to marinate. And because we like to basically pile on Lo and Boebert, we are doing it here. Police investigating incident involving Boebert and ex-husband. They're investigating incident following the congresswoman from Colorado and her former husband at a restaurant in Colorado. Details have not been disclosed, but there was a tiff. We'll get more of that as the day goes along, I'm sure. Let's go to our teaser story for the morning. This is a story that we could talk about tomorrow if you deem it worthy. Now, I'm going to say right now, not one of our greater teaser stories, not one of our greater mornings, if you will. We got a lot of stuff in, but it seemed like a low-energy morning. It will pick up over the week, I promise. Now, how do you get the teaser stories in and how to get stories into the feeds for you? Well, I put them in the feeds, and you tell us what to talk about. The feeds are our links on Facebook and Twitter. That's why we talk about them so much. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/this is a conversation project. On Twitter, th_conversation, and you just follow the leads. Like them, love them, hate them, share them. Show engagement, and the higher engagement score we get, the better chance we have of talking about them. The 10 stories we talked about today were of the top 30 stories of the weekend. We pulled them, curated them, and pulled them into the narrative we had. Some days it could be better, some days it could be worse. Trust me, but this is the narrative we had for this one. The narrative we may have for tomorrow is this story here. Arizona faces $1 billion deficit as the state legislature opens for 2024 session. You may not be that big into the Arizona legislature, but we were kind of running low on time, so we pulled something that was interesting that was in the feeds ready to go. So it is there, ready to see, ready for you to vote on, ready to upgrade right now. If you want to talk about money problems, check it out for the Arizona legislature. Engage in the story, and if it's in top 15, we'll probably get it into the 8 stories we report in on tomorrow. Let's go to our sponsor we're going to spotlight today, and that happens to be Zenni Optical. Zenni is how you spell them. And you go to our affiliate link. This is a conversationproject.com/Zenni, and you can get the best pair of glasses you've ever had. And I'm saying that because I've gotten the best pair of glasses because I get the same frames every single time over a decade from Zenni Optical, because they're inexpensive. They're simple. They're inexpensive. They're simple, so I get the same ones. I like them, so I don't get anything different. They haven't changed. I'm not changing. But maybe you're looking for a change. They have great glasses of the simple side and the fashion side for men, women, and children. They have all the lens technology you want, from blue blocking technology to transitions technology to sports goggles that are going to be indestructible on the course. They're there for you as well. And they're very inexpensive. So inexpensive that you don't have to worry about spending money to have to send them back. Just buy the glasses you want and send them back, and they'll send you that money back for those glasses. It's that simple. Zenni Optical can be found at thisisaconversationproject.com/Zenni. This is a conversationproject.com/Zenni. This is an affiliate link, so if you use them, it will allow us to get a bit of commission back. Another way to give us commission back, an easy commission back, is to buy my new book. This is 2024, and I have a new book that came out a few weeks back called These Will Get You the Job! What are these? These are some skill sets that you should actually promote for yourself if you're trying to get a new job or try to be seen better on the job you're at. These will get you the job. These will get you promotion. These will get you seen by more people at the job site. It also has a very short chapter, but important chapter, on how these things can be used against you, how your strengths can be your weaknesses. The thing that's in your your question for all of your jobs prescriptions, what's something that's a weakness? Well, sometimes they can turn what you use as a strength into a weakness, and you can kind of see that coming for your employer and possible employers going forward. Check it out. It's on Amazon and it's on other platforms. We have it directly at Amazon. Search for These Will Get You the Job, J. Clifton Payne, my new book, out there all over the places, and specifically on Amazon in both Kindle and paperback format. That's paperback on the left and the Kindle cover on the right. I can't figure out how to get both the covers to be the same, so we just put them up there and go with it. But it's there for you. It's a very quick read, simple read, and it's nothing that's going to be super labor intensive, but there are things that remind you that, hey, I am good at this thing, or I can get better at this thing. This can make me a better candidate for a job in the upcoming year. We want to be better candidates for you, so we want to promote ourselves and our website. This is theconversationproject.com. We want you to stop by our website and let us know what we're doing well. Let us know what we're doing by emailing us at theconversationinbox@gmail.com. You can also be a partner. Join up with us and be a direct contributor to what we have going on. And you get, front row seat access to what we have going on. It's great there. We use Buy Me a Coffee as our site to manage that. So it's just a simple subscription. Plus, we have other ways to partner up. We don't turn money away from here, but the money you give to us helps us grow the Conversation Project in many ways. It literally helps keep the lights on, and so I can use other funds for keeping braces and shoes on my daughter because she needs braces and shoes. But the money you help support this directly goes directly to the Conversation Project. We thank you for that so much. Of course, we want you to follow the feeds. Because that's how we get the news stories for these shows every single weekday morning and for the weekend shows. We want you to stop by our sponsors as well and look for where we are everywhere we are. We have links to our email, links to our web pages, links to our videos feeds, and our newsletter and our audio feeds there at the website. Find out where we are, more about us, and just get to know us. And we love you so much as well. Now, fun stuff promised, fun stuff coming right now. Here it is. On this day, this January the 8th, we always begin the fun stuff with birthdays because birthdays are the funnest of the fun stuff. And the birthday we're wishing out today is Kim Jong-un. Yeah, there are other folks out there, and there are other people who kind of fit in that dictator role. It's R. Kelly's birthday, by the way. But Kim Jong-un, the 42-year-old supreme leader of North Korea, is having a birthday. I'm sure there'll be rockets with red glare and bombs bursting in air and people marching in goose steps to celebrate the supreme leader of North Korea. North Korea has been not so much celebrating, but being sort of a pain in the butt by firing off rockets and missiles and all sorts of things lately because we haven't been paying much attention to them. Today, let's pay a lot of attention to Kim Jong-un because he could be a handful very, very quickly if we don't. So show him some love, show him some care, give him some attention so maybe he'll go away. Maybe. On this day in 2011, an attempted assassination in Arizona Congressman Gabrielle Giffords occurred at the grocery store near Tucson. 13 people were injured and 6 others were killed in the shooting, along with federal judge John Roll. This was a serious incident that brought in one of the more recent and more actual successful cases of people talking about gun reform and just doing things about people who shouldn't have guns and mental health in issue as well, but not just saying, well, it's just the crazy people doing things for GAT. It also led to Gabrielle Giffords' husband, who was then an astronaut, to actually run for Congress and become a member of our grand party of people to take over and be in charge of stuff. Interesting enough. So this is a day we celebrate because we celebrate her survival, although 5 other people were killed. The assassination attempt and the survival of it by Gabrielle Giffords. Also on this day, it's not Spaghetti Day. It actually is Clean Off Your Desk Day. I'm not sure why I didn't change that part, but Clean Off Your Desk Day is today, the 8th of January. And this is something that I'm going to work very hard on doing myself. I've not quite got it down packed yet, but with some help I've had for cleaning up the office and cleaning things and getting organized, I have a stack of stuff that needs to be piled off my desk, put someplace to be organized so I have a flat desk. I have some organizers. I've got some little cute little plug things I put on my desk so I can plug things up on my desk and work on my desk. Just got to get the big stack of papers off. So Clean Your Desk Day is today. So start working on that desk today. No promises, no guarantees. Just get at it. Just give it a shot. Our poll question for the day, something I actually did update in the actual slides today, is this. Are you excited for a possible second Biden-Trump presidential election choice? We're not excited about this. We're not excited about the poll question either, but we were running late, had a lot of things going on, so we want to make sure we made it work. So that's your poll question as we're basically gearing up for things going on. The Iowa caucus is about, well, I think it's less than 10 days away, so the Republicans have a chance to vote up or upvote someone other than Donald Trump, but they won't. It won't happen. It's going to be Trump and Biden unless something very drastic happens. And are you excited about this? I personally am not, but what do you think? You let me know by going to this poll question at our website and clicking the link and voting in this poll. This is going to help us drive some of our actual coverage of various things going forward. And with that, we're going very forward because we're done for the day. Today has been, as we record this, Monday, January the 8th, 2024. I am Jay Cleveland Payne. Thank you so much for being a part of the family, being a part of what we have going on here. Go by our feeds and engage in the stories so we have things to talk about. Email us at theconversationinbox@gmail.com so we can talk directly. Consider being a partner to help us get more things done, and make sure you are staying limber, staying hydrated, and staying on task for all the grand things you're here to do. Love you, mean it. We're going to regather. Have a great day. I have a long day ahead of myself, so prepare for a very tired and grumpy me tomorrow morning. But if all things goes well, we'll have a tomorrow morning, a Tuesday edition of Things You Might Not Have Heard. 8 stories from today to repeat back for you to get your day started for your Tuesday. Thank you. Let's see you tomorrow.